Hello, Tom Maguire. I'm just going to do a quick book review on Ask a Historian 50 Surprising Answers to Things You Always Wanted to Know by Greg Jenner. So, in this review, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about who Greg Jenner is, talk a little bit about why this book initially appealed to me so much, what it was that kind of disappointed me a little bit, although I think overall it's a good book. And just want to say quickly to anyone who may not want to listen to the whole review, I would summarize it by saying if you love historical facts, if you're someone who appreciates horrible histories, for example, then this book is for you. You'll think it's absolutely brilliant. So it's well worth a listen. Please keep liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it when you do that. I do these reviews for my kids. I do them to improve myself to a certain extent. And just because I enjoy reading and listening to books and talking about it, basically, and I'm a bit opinionated as well. So yeah, this kind of thing suits me a little bit. So first off, who is Greg Jenner? Wikipedia describes him as a British historian with a particular interest in communicating history through pop culture and humour. And he's the guy who does Horrible Histories. If you haven't seen Horrible Histories, I highly recommend it. It's very good. I have young kids and they're kind of now just getting into it in quite a big way. So he narrates the Horrible Histories stories, also narrates this book as well. So it's, again, I always say it's good to have the author narrating their own book in an audiobook. I really like that. And he's got a good voice for it. So first off, why did this book appeal to me so much? Well, I think it's because I absolutely love Bill Bryson's books, weirdly enough. I love the way he kind of weaves stories from history into kind of almost personal development type things in a humorous sort of way, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Bill Bryson just manages to kind of take a story from history and just make it fascinating and make it so enjoyable to read and listen to. And I just absolutely love that. And what I mean by personal development as well is there always seems to be something in there, some kind of nugget of wisdom that you can use to improve your life in quite a significant way, and I absolutely love that. I haven't read all of Bill Bryson's books, but I nearly have, and I always feel a bit sad about that because I kind of want to keep enjoying new ones from him. So I'm hoping he writes some more. But yeah, so it's the Bill Bryson fan in me who kind of this book appealed to, really. And I love the front cover of this book as well. I shouldn't admit to that, but the front cover is great. I love history. I think history is absolutely fascinating. You know, I tend to believe from a personal development point of view that we can't learn enough about history, really. We can't kind of reflect enough on history in order to become better people and to make the world a better place. I think that's really important. So this book really, really appealed to me. It really jumped out at me. So I'm just going to quickly read out a bit of a blurb from Goodreads just to kind of cheat a little bit because I think this kind of sums up quite nicely. In Ask a Historian, the author, BBC podcaster and public historian Greg Jenner provides answers to things you always wondered about but didn't know who to ask. Responding to 50 genuine questions from the public, Greg whisks you off on an entertaining tour through the ages, revealing the best and most surprising stories, facts and historical characters from the past, bouncing through a wide range of subjects from ancient joke books, African empires and bizarre tales of medicinal cannibalism to the invention of meringues, mirrors and menstrual pads. Ask a Historian spans the Stone Age to the swinging 60s and offers up a deliciously amusing and informative smorgasbord of historical curiosities, devoured one morsel at a time. It kind of bugs me that it's called Ask a Historian rather than Ask an Historian. I don't know. I think that's correct, to be fair, but yeah, a historian. I kind of struggle with that a little bit. But anyway, that's by the by. And that little blurb from Goodreads there kind of sums up for me what I found a bit disappointing about this book. I don't want to write this book off because I do highly recommend it. But his own blurb kind of says, why is Italy called Italy? How old is curry? Which people from history would best pull off a casino heist? Who was the richest person of all time? When was the first Monday? What were history's weirdest medical procedures that actually worked? How much horse manure was splattered on the streets of Tudor London? How fast was the medieval Chinese postal system? What did the Flintstones get right about the Stone Age? I like that bit, by the way. Who gets to name historical eras and what will ours be called in 100 years' time? And how do we know how people sound in the past? How old is sign language? And when I read that, I kind of thought, yeah, this sounds really interesting. I'm going to really enjoy this. But my biggest problem with the book is that I can barely remember any of those things from the book. They just seem to, I just found myself kind of switching off for some reason, and that's kind of where my problem lies with this book. I think Greg Jenner's really kind of interesting, and he puts good kind of humour in, and he's energetic and all of that stuff. So I just found myself a bit puzzled as to why it didn't stick with me. Now that might be just me personally. I'd like to, if anyone's got any comments to contradict that, then I'm more than happy to see that. I'd be interested to see that, what you think. I've always found of history that history can either be absolutely fascinating to me, or I can find it really, really boring. And unfortunately, I had teachers in school who were terrible and didn't inspire me at all, and I kind of just completely flunked history. It's not been, since recent years that I've actually enjoyed my own learning and reading about history, and I absolutely love it. So I just found in this book that he just didn't get it across in a way that I found interesting, in the way that someone like Bill Bryson does. And I know Bill Bryson isn't necessarily strictly a history writer, but I think that's probably what kind of makes it more interesting in some ways. I personally think that this book is done by someone who's such a history buff, geek, nerd, whatever you want to call them, and I don't mean that in a rude way. I don't mean that to be derogatory at all. I think there's a kind of good qualities actually, but I think he's almost at risk perhaps of being so interested and passionate about history that he's maybe indulged himself a bit too much and hasn't perhaps crafted it well enough to come across as interesting to the likes of me, potentially. Maybe I'm a bit of a Philistine and maybe I need it to be made a bit more simple, potentially, and I'm not afraid to admit that. It's not that it was overly complicated, I just think that he just managed to tell some of the stories in a way that I just found myself switching off, which is just maybe that's just me. But I just felt really, really good idea, really good concept for a book. We'd love to see him do another one, but it just didn't quite hit the spot for me, unfortunately, in that respect. But I will listen to a few more chapters again, I think, just to give it a bit of a second chance, because many books that I listen to are better kind of second time round if you give them a bit of a go again. And sometimes we're just not in the right place to listen to a certain book or read a certain book. You do have to be, I personally have to be in the right kind of mood for certain things as well. But the critical side of me is just kind of saying, I think it could be a fantastic book. But I just think there are more interesting ways of telling some of those stories. So in that respect, it didn't work for me. But I recommend it to anyone who loves history, who enjoys horrible histories. It's energetic, it's upbeat, it's funny in places, and they are kind of interesting topics, interesting stories that he talks about. It just didn't hit home for me. But thank you very much. Keep liking and subscribing. I will be back again very soon. Cheers. Bye.